Everybody, come on.
Such a joyous,
There's a picture.
occasion.
Here we go. Turn so I can see Lake Washington in the background.
He doesn't have a panoramic view.
Come on, Father. Well, he's old.
Okay.
There you
go.
He's old and decrepit. What can I say?
Okay, we're gonna go for dinner. Father Brown and Michael and Grandpa. Michael's obviously got a call from somebody. What a nice diner. Okay. Ready, Dad? Let's go. Here we are at 6 a.m. in front of Eisenhower Hall. Michael, EMPs, another bus. Quite a few kids waiting to get in. I think they're just about to open Eisenhower Hall for breakfast.
Side of the divider and stand by to be called into Eisenhower Hall for the commander's briefing. If you are in possession of a white or a gray pass card with a later report time, please be back here to join the line 15 minutes prior to your scheduled report time. If you are a candidate who has a later report time, we invite you to dine in the Riverside Cafe with breakfast snacks.
Good. Be careful. Good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I've already separated Michael from his mother on the wall. New cadets on the right, parents on the left. We're going in.
On behalf of General Hagenbeck, the Superintendent, and General Caslin, the Commandant, I would like to welcome you to West Point. To the candidates, I'd like to congratulate you on your selection to the class of 2011. You have successfully completed a very rigorous selection process where over 10,800 applicants applied, over 2,000 were deemed qualified, and 1,311 enter with the class of 2011 today. A few words of advice for the soon-to-be new cadets. CBT, Cadet Basic Training, is designed to provide you with the fundamental soldier skills, knowledge of cadet life, physical stamina, and mental discipline to be successful at the United States Military Academy. Stay positive, keep focused, and don't get discouraged. We would not have brought you here if we did not think you had the ability to be successful. Remember, many of the cadet chain of command, or all of the cadet chain of command members whom you will meet today, and many of the staff and faculty have successfully completed our day as well as cadet basic training. Family and friends, while the candidates are in processing, I invite you to visit historic West Point. There is an equipment display up by Daly Field, which is up by the flagpole and adjacent to the parade field. Additionally, in this auditorium this afternoon from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., the United States Military Academy leadership, including the superintendent, the commandant, and the dean, will provide an information briefing to you. At that time, you will have an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have regarding your son or daughter's admission here. This briefing will again occur promptly from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. The culmination of today's events will be the oath ceremony up on Trophy Point, which is up by the flagpole. It will begin promptly at 6 p.m. Again, congratulations on your acceptance to the United States Military Academy and to the class of 2011. I will be followed by Cadet Riley, who sat in your seat just 2 years ago. Cadet Riley.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cadet Riley. Following my briefing, relatives and friends will be asked to leave the theater and proceed to the Parent Information Center in Crest Hall. As you enter the Parent Information Center, you will receive a map of West Point, as well as a schedule of today's activities. Additional information about the key dates and authorizations and privileges of the new cadets can also be found in this handout. At the Parent Information Center, you will be able to register, pick up information packets, receive your candidate's mailing address, as well as catch shuttle buses to various locations throughout the day. The restaurant in Eisenhower Hall will be serving a short order breakfast and lunch at a reasonable cost. West Point is a beautiful national landmark. Please enjoy the Academy grounds and your day at West Point. Due to the anticipated traffic congestion, we would like you to please leave your cars parked in the upper lots above Mikey Stadium and take advantage of the shuttle buses, which will provide service to key locations throughout the day. There will also be a shuttle bus to transport you from the oath ceremony back up to the labs this evening. At this time, I would like to ask the candidates to prepare to move towards the front and towards those doors where the baggage tagging area is. Candidates, you will be going alone and will be taking your luggage with you. Please take care of your farewells now, as you will be moving out in 90 seconds.
Okay. Okay. Oh boy.
At this time, would relatives and friends please follow Cadet Nilsen into Crest Hall for the Parent Information Centers.
Okay, there we go. Recording the big room. Hopefully we get Mother Brown and Dad in here, and Mom. And here's picking up the glasses.
So he's not in June.
Hey, Laurel. Laurel, you're all over the place, honey. There you go. Look at this setting we're at.
Take the basket down.
Actually, I read some of it.
And he's not here to sign it.
No.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
I just bought one and have you. So you have it, right? That I got signed. Thank you. Sorry, Sean. We have to give her Michael's address. Maybe I could save myself.
Did you give the Colonel the address?
Yes, Colonel. He's in Colonel's company, H1.
What do you mean? I tell you, the 8:30 kids are not going to be in until 10:30.
Ten to 1? Is that the ratio? 10 to 1? Thank you. 1%.
Okay, so it's back to the parking lot. What time is it? Okay. So I'm gonna call my mom and dad, tell them that they've got to be ready to go.
Oh look, they got a display of all.
That looks like a helicopter pad.
Those are all trip carrying.
That's it. The kids are still being processed.
She can make it through that. She can make it through that.
Y'all take care, Julie. Take care. Alright.
No,
Talk to you later.
you're not tough. I need to be tough on
Thomas, you're the wind.
you. Yeah, you can stop.
Oh, you didn't buy the only tickets. You have to buy the tickets for the game.
Okay.
Now we should buy the season's tickets.
Okay, down there you'll see a football field.
What feels like?
It's called Shea Stadium. Shea Stadium is down there.
Okay, I may have to tell him it's not a good idea.
He's gonna want to celebrate this.
Hello? Hey Mom, it's Mike. If you get this message, call me. I'm coming back to get you guys. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. It's about 9:15, I think. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Eisenhower Hall, Nike Stadium. Hey, Father Brown, this is the Catholic chapel over here.
Where is it over that side?
What's that? Right up that's the cliff right there. Okay, so Robin, what do we need? A big Hail Mary? Show me some of those alligator tears. Let's see if they're any bigger than Diana's.
From what I heard, you two were okay.
Oh, she was crying. She was crying. It's very hard. It's very hard. He's leaving home. Not easy.
The next time you see your son, you'll be old.
Oh boy.
We
got another one going to Annapolis soon.
You're lucky he came out alive. No, Stephen, look at the shirt he has on.
I know.
Yeah, but I said he's lucky.
Did you want Sal to see you?
There we go. Mom and Dad. Finally coming in at about 11:30. Some of the buses bringing the parents back. There he is, 2nd Infantry. Made it to West Point, Dad.
Yeah.
Just like Brooklyn College. Came in the front door and went out the back.
I went to Brooklyn College. Jack Curran was on their team. I went in for that. I won.
Wants to do a photo op. The two football players. 60 years apart, playing on the same field with the same results. Victory. There we go.
How about that? I'm from Virginia.
My father was born in
Fairfax.
Yes.
I'm actually, O'Sullivan is my married name. But I was Irish before that. Gibbons. I was Mary Gibbons, so it's Mary Gibbons O'Sullivan.
Is there a middle name? Don't tell me it's Patricia.
No, I'm Mary Jane.
Okay.
Mary Ann.
I'm Mary Jane.
Mary Ann Patricia O'Sullivan.
Yep, nope, I'm Mary Jane Gibbons.
There you go. There you go.
But I
So
go by
funny.
Mary Gibbons O'Sullivan now.
Oh, that's a nice shirt.
Okay,
this is
now.
from our parents' club. We
Diana,
have a parents' club
Diana.
in Maryland, DC, and
We're going in here.
Oh, that's nice.
Go down this hall, Dad.
What the?
Appreciate it for graduates and friends.
Class of 1983. Joe Basile.
Like up there.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah. Who was that?
47, that's the class. Well, I think all the football players were kicked out of.
Ah.
Jerry Hart, what a shame. He was.
Who? Wouldn't be on the list.
Okay.
05, 04, for Country and Corps. 03, Protectors of the Free. Bicentennial Pride. In All We Do in 02. Duty is Done in 01. Which with honor in
Standing or leaning? But he would.
The emphasis on the words continues to grow in West Point's quarters, field,
the Assembly, which is the school newspaper. Now, what is your name?
Olenichuk.
Olenichuk?
I'm the editor-in-chief of the magazine.
You don't know Joe Basile, do you? He's very active in the Alumni. He graduated in '83. But okay, well that is excellent. Well, we have subscribed. We look forward to the newspaper. Patrick, Grandpa,
Right.
that is so funny. These are the guys 60 years ago today.
60 years
Just
we played
amazing.
the same football team.
Yeah, that
And,
is.
we both won. His team won. Xavier and Midwood.
He used to win.
Oh.
Columbia used to lose. That's where I was. Well, you know, it's just a tough league. Tough. Okay. This is the class of 2011. Got it. Barbecue.
You okay?
Okay.
Father Brown has the regulation shoes.
Okay, you ready to, you gonna go inside or you gonna go to the bus?
I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm all right.
Okay, let's go. Vicky, come on. Patrick, grab some bags. Going on the tour, baby.
Jerry was in Company A, this year I was in Company C. They're all different colors, and on the checklist here has different stations. Our day processing status card for cadet basic training. Barber shop, Issue point 2, issue point 3, those are things like duffel bags, socks, black socks, they love them. Orientation detail, administrative detail, supply detail, pre-bag checked by squad leader, our day drill. Lots of drilling goes on. You learn how to march. Lunch meal, they do feed them. Don't worry about that.
They do feed them.
Trousers issued. Actually, we're the only service academy that has our own uniform factory. The kids were all measured this morning for trousers that they will march this afternoon in. So it's 1,310 new cadets reported today. Now this is some of the drill stuff they have to do. Position for attention, rest position at the halt, facing at the halt, hand salute, forming the squad at close interval, alignment of squad, 30-inch step, 15-inch step, marching in place, facing and marching the squad, changing the direction of a column. So they're doing all that drilling today, all that stuff. Eisenhower Hall is where you started the day. It's the largest theater second only to Radio City Music Hall. Can hold the whole Corps of Cadets at once in there. It's over 4,000 capacity. They have a lot of traveling road companies that come. They do Broadway shows. There'll be orchestras that come, and the community can buy season tickets or go to some of those shows as well. We just also passed a little gingerbread house. That's where Marty Marr, who was featured in The Long Great Line. If you haven't seen that movie, try and see it. It's gives the whole spirit and feeling of West Point. Also, said the formal hostess lives there, who teaches the cadets how to dance and which fork to use at a dinner party and all. So, that's the oldest house on post, oldest building on post. It's where our commandant lives. He's in charge of academic affairs, and there is Go Army, Beat Navy shutters hanging down from the superintendent's home. Superintendent is a 3-star general. He's like the president of the college, the mayor of the town. He's in charge of everything that happens. Who has never been here? Who has never been to West Point? Have you all been here before? You haven't been here before. Okay. Trophy Point we have on the riverside. This was named so. There's actually an outdoor museum. These trophies are prizes that we brought home from the battlefield, and our trophies. And looking up the river to the $1 Million View is where Barbara Streisand filmed Hello, Dolly. Please keep your eyes also on the riverside. We're passing the Great Chain. This is a very significant thing here at West Point. In order to keep the British from navigating the Hudson River, we had artillery position on all banks around here, but just as an added precaution, we floated the Great Chain across the way from right about here, and there it is. They're surrounding it right now. Across the way to Constitution Island. The British never did challenge the chain, however, because they knew it was there. Thank you, Benedict Arnold, the most infamous traitor in our country's history. He was a great commander of troops on the battlefield, but he didn't feel like he was appreciated for his great efforts. So he married a woman with very lavish taste, who also, by the way, had her mother had sympathies with the British. So in retrospect, it's no surprise that he did commit that treason. Now this is the area where you will be watching the Oath of Allegiance parade later today, and I'll try and line you up so you know where to come and the best place to watch would be. I believe there are a few people getting off at Johnson Stadium. There was a special request for a stop there, so if that's you, I'll let you go here.
How close to building 606?
I don't know what 606 is. 606. Okay, this
Up
is
by the library, I guess.
okay. I think we're going to get off at the super bus.
Actually, we think it's taking 6 buses.
Okay.
By there.
Okay. The front bus in this line?
That's cool.
Okay.
We're going the same way.
Porque Costa Rica. Costa Rica. Estamos vecinos. Esto es Nicaragua. Oh, sí, mucho tiempo. So, you visit Costa Rica? While you in Nicaragua?
Okay. The static display on the field here. We can examine.
Where they were firing at him, his aide said, "Sir, do you know we should maybe take cover?" He said, "Oh, they can't hit the side of anything side of an elephant from that distance." Well, next thing you know, bam, they got him, shot him. Told his horse did survive that, but because he's considered lucky, our cadets have a little tradition here. The night before final exam, if they need a little luck, they will come down with full dress uniform and spin the spurs on the back of the boots. I thought this was a bunch of hooey, but they actually do. They have to be in the room till 11:30. We like that at midnight. We're in the line. Walk around?
Yeah.
You have to be dressed?
They have to be in full dress.
Where?
Let me hold you. I'll hold you up there, Vic. You see them? What's that? Yeah, look, come here, come here. Okay, what's happening? Dad?
Hopefully, so we never again fire our Guns, Americans on Americans. Civil War was a terribly wounding time for the country. There were 60 major battles in the Civil War. 55 of them were commanded on both sides by West Point personnel. The other 5 had West Pointer on one side or the other as the commander, so you can see it was a West Point War. Here we go, $1 million view down.
Also where your cadets will come as firsties or seniors to get their class rings. It's a ceremony that happens the last summer before, or last weekend before academics begin, and you'll be invited. There's a hop and banquet here as well. There's a new tradition where rings have been returned by either widows or estates, and they're melted down. The portions or traces of that metal recast in the firsties rings that are presented to them, with a symbolism of that being when these young men and women are out in the field with the weight of the world on their shoulders, they're told to look at their past where they have the strength, look at their hands where they have the strength of the past in their fingertips. So it's really pretty humbling when you think of who all has belonged to it. July 7th, there's a concert, 1812 Overture, where the cadets, the new cadets, will all be seated down there. You can see the graduation parade in 4 years, but they're all assembled. Those are the barracks or the dormitories, and on the far side of the tunnels there's a courtyard where not only do they assemble for announcements and for parades, but that's where they march off their demerits on the other side of the gallery courtyard. But the dress parades, they'll come out, I just get goosebumps. The band will be on the field, and all of a sudden with the utmost precision from every single sally port they come marching and fill up the field. 32 companies in all when they march. When the whole brigade is marching. They live 2 to 3 in a room. Their clothes are hung in, 4 years he was here. Her husband was off fighting war, so she had nothing better to do but to stay here. She was known for leaving boodle, and I hope you all know what boodle is. What's boodle? Care package. Yeah. She would leave boodle in the cannon barrels for other cadets to come upon and find, and she took great glee in making them happy. Notice the chapel up on the hill, sort of the sentinel of the whole campus. More about MacArthur. He was a student, then he went to battle, and then he became the superintendent. And he had learned from his experience on the battlefield that the soldiers who were athletes performed much better than those who were not. Not only did they have the strength and the endurance, but they also told to come down in his full dress coat. And that's all he came down in. Bottoms on. So you know he got demerits for that. There's another statue that's not here, and that is George Patton. The building under construction is a new library, and George Patton took his statue is in storage right now. He took 5 years to get through West Point. He was dyslexic. He had a learning disability. And later in life he was asked, what took you so long? And his response was, well, I couldn't find the library. So consequently his statue is right in front of the library. And all the other statues face the parade ground. He will be facing the library, and he has binoculars in hand. So. That's amazing. Then all of a sudden the river gets very narrow and curvy and crooked. And then to our south, the river flows straight and wide again to New York City. So it was imperative for us to maintain control of the Hudson during the Revolutionary War. The British wanted it 40,000 in there. That's where you'll come for graduation, rain or shine. Dick Cheney spoke this last year, George W. Bush the year before. And you've seen pictures. The grand finale, of course, is when they throw their caps in the air and the little ones on the sidelines run out to retrieve a cap. Often they'll be canned right to get a little relationship going to get the other half of the 20. Sports Illustrated says this is the finest venue for collegiate football. The game begins football Saturdays with the helicopter circling overhead and the parachuters jumping out to deliver the game ball right to the 50-yard line. The mules and masks like training. And then the American Soldier Monument, dedicated to the American soldiers, sculpted by Felix de Weldon, who also did Iwo Jima's monument in Arlington, Virginia. He has works on all 7 continents. If you look through the treetops, you see the Cadet Chapel towering out.
Yeah, this was the guy that we met at the West Point Founders Day back in March. Went to the New York.
He was the one that told Michael learn to keep your mouth shut.
No, that was someone else.
That was at Lundy, wasn't it? When you went to Lundy, was it?
Molly McGuire's.
Oh, Molly McGuire.
Yeah.
Welcome all of you here to West Point today. It's been a big day. We're going to show you some pictures here in a few minutes, and you can look for your new cadet among these pictures. Before I go into my speech, I'd like to introduce my leader team that's up front here. First of all is Major General Select Bob Katzman and Shelley. Bob is the Commandant. We've served together on numerous occasions, both here at West Point. This is our second time around, in the 101st, the 10th Mountain, and in Afghanistan. And so we kind of figured each other out. And sitting down here also is a guy that's known me even longer than that, a classmate and dear friend, General Pat Finnegan. He'll speak to you here momentarily as well, and you'll have an opportunity to hear from the King of Beasts, Cadet Crafton. But before we have any of them speak, I'd like to introduce my wife and I would say a few words and encourage the mothers out there that when we get into the question and answer period, if you have mama questions, ask her and not me. Okay? And this is my wife Judy, And please come on up here, Becky.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Judy. And you're going to hear a lot this afternoon throughout the day about academics and Army training. I just wanted to talk just for a minute or two about family. Because you're in this room today tells me that your son or daughter has agreed to join an extended family, and that would be the Army family. And that's exactly what the Army is a family. And that also includes you as well, and we're delighted to have you.
Before the sun goes down tonight, it'll be up on the webpage, and so you'll have access to it. So you don't have to take many notes or snap pictures back there if you don't care to. Let's start with the first picture. For your cadet, this was a long time ago. This morning, a few hours ago. So I'm going to rip through about 16 or 20 pictures here, and some of you out there, you can find your cadets sitting here. First ones that went through this morning, as many of you know, they hit this I call about 0630 for our 192 prep school youngsters that came in to join the class of 2011. And then shortly after they came through, over 1,100 other new candidates, new cadets came in, soon to be their lifelong friends. Now the day starts out the same every year on our day. A few last words of advice from mom or dad, lots of hugging, and smiles of encouragement that I'm sure were needed at certain times today. Sometimes just before the candidates are in process, you can almost read their thoughts in here. If you go left and I go right, we can still break out of here. Try that. Now, when it's all is said and done, as they left you from here in Icole today, and they went right back out the doors down to my left, and they all stepped up to the line, and that's started them off really on their journey. And so it began, and you can see that the upper class chain of command is giving a lot of personal attention to them. It didn't take long for it to sink in that they are no longer in Kansas. We gave them a nice scenic bus trip over to Thayer Hall, but as you can tell by the looks on their face, they weren't doing much sightseeing. And they got off over there at Thayer Hall. That's when the journey began, and they met some of that cadet chain of command that got them in line and moved them out. And the transformation began. Started with a lot of measurements, and they're all going to be in uniform here at 5:30 this afternoon. You see them forming up in front of my quarters before they march over to Trophy Point. They quickly changed into new cadet attire, a little bit more of that personalized attention that came with it. And the process ran pretty smoothly, except for a few. You never want to spill your canteen of water in front of an upper class. I'm sure he'll be back there cleaning up some other spots on the floor later today. But probably the most important thing that happened over at Thayer Hall today was them taking the oath. You're going to see the Commandant leading through that this afternoon. But they actually went through it formally with legal advisors and signing that oath today. A very important step. And they're starting to look like soldiers already, dressed and then having their hair cut a little bit. We actually had a few with beards today. If that's your cadet, you're not going to find them looking like that for sure. Later as the day wore on, it began to turn into a reality for a number of them. The day wore on over in the central area where most of you were unable to see them, they started to learn how to march a little bit. And they'll be doing that this evening. You'll be surprised how well they do. After marching, before they could actually go to lunch, they had to perform a few minor tasks. You can't imagine how hard this was for some of them. Had to salute and talk to their first sergeant, the man in the red sash, the cadet in the red sash. I remember it vividly. It's so will they. As they went through all of that, of course, they learned some other important things that they needed to do. When they went into their new company area, pointed out where their gear is and where the rooms are and where they'll be sleeping, not just tonight, but throughout the summer months. And then they had to report into their first sergeant. And that was also traumatic. And they'll remember it very well. They're all going to have those stories, and as Judy says, when you can capture some of these moments, I think you'll be very pleased in the long run that you've done so. The start has been extraordinarily smooth, and we're very pleased with the way things have gone, and I hope that you are as well. For those of you that haven't been here before, bear with me, and I'm going to go through a couple slides and just give you a brief to excel. Now, here's some demographics on the classes your cadet just joined, and you can see 1305 that have entered. I won't run all through that, but I know some of us here that are graduates, and I know you're dotted throughout there. I recognize a number of faces. We're not going to get in the business of comparing SAT scores, thank goodness. But this class has gotten off to, at least quantitatively, to a on par or better than many of the recent classes that we've had in here. And I'll leave that up to the dean to discuss. Beyond just the cadets represent, join a great team. And with that, let me please turn it over to my good friend, General Fenninger.
Welcome. Let me add my congratulations to you all. I'm Pat Finnegan. I'm the dean, and I can pretty much assure you that I am the last person on your sons and daughters' mind right now. They'll cope with me later on, but right now they're not really thinking a whole lot about academics. You can see my shoes up here on the slide. There's a little story there. We have, as General Hagenbeck said, an integrated program. I'm in charge of the academic program. But it's a whole series of programs that are put together. We try to do different things to bring all those programs together. I like to run with the cadets, and I got these special shoes to say the dean. They even made it into Vice President Cheney's graduation speech. I wasn't sure that that's how I was going to be famous by the shoes I wear. We are an academy. It's the United States Military Academy. We are an academy. Go to the next slide, Dave. Your sons and daughters will get military training and physical training, but they're also here to get an education. They're going to get a Bachelor of Science degree in 4 years at a top-tier institution. We compete very well with Ivy Leagues and other schools, and you know that as your sons and daughters went through the admissions process. Education that our young leaders need. They take foreign language courses, they take humanities courses, they take social science, they take 4 semesters of math, all to prepare them to be Army officers and leaders. In their sophomore year, their yearling year, in about October next year.
I do want to take a few minutes. I do want to take a few minutes to talk to you about what your new cadets are going to go through for cadet basic training. But before I do want to make one quick introduction, and that is the person who helps me the most through this particular development, which is our brigade tactical officer. And actually today is the marks the departure of our old outgoing tactical officer, Colonel Harry Scott, and the arrival of our brand new brigade tactical officer, Colonel Mark McCurran, here in the front there. So if you have any questions about the tactical department, you can come on down afterwards and talk about it. I want to point out that really this is my 7th R day. My first was when I was a brand new cadet, and then I was squad leader in Beast Barracks when I was a senior. And then I was a tactical officer for a couple R days, and 2 years ago, I had a very unique R day. I was sitting exactly where you were, bringing my son, who was a member of the class of 2009. So I can share the experiences and the feelings and the thoughts that you all share right now, that you're sitting here having just dropped your son or daughter off on our day for Beast Barracks. And then this is my 2nd R day as a commandant of cadets. Next slide, please. What this slide shows you are the principal purposes and objectives of cadet basic training. Really threefold. First is to transition your son and daughter into first a cadet and then to second a soldier. Physical fitness test, which consists of 3 events, push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. They'll also do some academic testing. We'll continue to train them on drill and ceremony, and they'll have PT each morning. And then the second week, we start branching out into some of the military skills. First aid, warrior competition. The warrior competition is great. It's a phys ed run event. Department of Phys Ed runs that. It includes water can carry, a tire drill, obstacle course, team log roll, and they have this big wall that as a team and as a squad they have to get over. On that Sunday afternoon, we take every single one of your son and daughters and split them out throughout the entire community here at West Point. And we link them up with regular Army officers and non-commissioned officers. They take them into their home for the afternoon. We call it the ice cream social. But it's the first opportunity to really just kind of relax, and you'll see that they'll have an opportunity to call home during that time. That week also includes mountaineering, where they do the big rappel. We have a 10-mile road march. You see the picture of the gas chamber, which everybody loves, trust me. And we'd start teaching them some of the land navigation skills. Week 5, we teach them how to qualify and shoot an M16 rifle. Also how to throw a live. Each one will throw a live. This is the Cadet Basic Training PT. It starts off at 5:30 in the morning until 7 o'clock every day. It's focused both on the anaerobic muscular development and the aerobic cardiovascular development as well. And so we do a lot of strength training, grass drills, gorilla drills. We also have some special PT for some of the different athletic groups. We also, as I mentioned, in the events, we have a diagnostic PT test, and then at the end of week 5, we have the actual formal PT test, which is their first physical education grade. We've got the road marches that you see in there. Many of the afternoons, they'll go to what we call mass athletics. They get to pick a sport, and if they're a recruited athlete, they go to visit with their coaches and actually get a decent workout for about an hour and a half.
Thank you, Bob. My name is Kevin Anderson, and I am the Director of Athletics. Got the best job in America because I get to work with the best student athletes this country has to offer. West Point is a very special place for a bunch of special people. We have 25 core squad teams. We compete in the Patriot Leagues, American hockey, and we are an independent football team. This year, football-wise, we have a pretty tough schedule, and I want to share with you because we want you to come to every home game that you can. But I'm going to give you some of the games that we are away at, so if you live in that part of the country, we invite you to come and root for the Black Knights. We start off August 30th in Cleveland, Ohio, and we play Akron. We're at home September 8th against Rhode Island. September 15th, we play Wake Forest at Wake Forest. September 22nd, we're up in Boston and we play Boston College. September 29th, we're home again and we play Temple. So you see the schedule. We encourage that you all come out and be part of the Black Knight experience.
In the area, we have a fully staffed hospital here on post. Additionally, each one of our companies have a medic from the 10th Mountain Division. All of them are combat veterans, and they're assigned to take care of any, someone minor particular, like a wrist or something like that. And they go through the barracks and check on every one of the cadets each night. Finally, as you're aware, the summers in the Hudson River Valley are very hot and humid. So we keep a close eye on the weather, and we make the necessary adjustments to the physical aspects of the training as the heat and humidity reach certain limits as we keep track of all. Next slide. I want to put this slide here because as a parent, I know a couple things that were very helpful to me. Your sons and daughters that you are leaving here are the absolute best in America. I really believe they're our nation's treasure. And we understand that, and we take that responsibility very seriously. Our mission is clear, to develop these young men and women into the officers that will lead the rest of our national treasure, our soldiers, our men and women, into both peace and war missions. And they'll do a great job. But we take this very seriously, and I'll tell you, those of us who have been in the Army for a number of years and who are on our end of our Army careers, and we see these young men and women with the tremendous capabilities and talents that they have, it's very encouraging that we know that the Army and the future of the Army is some great hands. It is an honor to be able to stand in their ranks and to have this mantle of responsibility to develop them into our nation's future leaders, the United States Army. At this time, I'll be followed by Cadet Captain Jason Crabtree. Cadet Crabtree is the regimental commander. He's the #1 cadet. As a cadet, he's in charge of all the different operations and everything that's going on. And he is in your son and daughter's training command as the regimental commander. He's a great guy to know. And he's a super cadet, and we're very proud of him and the job he's done thus far as regimental commander of Cadet Basic Training. Jason, thank you.
In his final address to the Corps of Cadets in 1962, General Douglas MacArthur stated that the long gray line has never failed us. Were you to do so, a million ghosts in all the drab and brown khaki, in blue and gray, would rise from their white crosses, thundering those magic words: duty, honor, and country. With those words, General MacArthur captured both the privilege and the responsibility of being a graduate of the United States Military Academy. Good afternoon. I am Cadet Jason Crabtree, as the Commandant said, and it's my privilege to serve as the Cadet Regimental Commander this summer for Cadet Basic Training, otherwise known as Beast Barracks. 100 hours, generally to some sort of music or a knock on their door. And by 05:25, they will have dressed, conducted personal hygiene, and be out on the apron for reveille. And then we'll go to physical training formation, otherwise known as PT formation. Physical training is conducted from 05:35 to about 6:55. And by 7:25, they'll already have showered, changed, cleaned their rooms, and formed up for Regus formation. And I promise we do actually feed them. From there, their day gets longer, as they immediately begin going to various issue points, taking academic validation examinations, and learning soldier skills. The skills they will master are what makes our Army the most powerful Army in the world. In looking at their daily schedule, you can see it makes for a long day, and it's so long that your new cadets will probably be asleep as soon as their heads hit the pillow at 2,200 hours. But they will have adequate time to make sure that they can take care of personal issues and be able to keep in contact with you with letters and other things. Next slide, please. First off, we hope that you realize these next few weeks are going to be challenging for your sons and daughters. They're going to be pushed harder than they ever have been before. But despite this, they will make it through Beast Barracks with the help of my chain of command and with the support that you can provide from home. And I can't emphasize that enough. Your support is really crucial for their success. You might not think that a letter is much, but I can remember personally the letters I received from my parents were instrumental in helping me stay motivated and enjoy the experience that I've had here in the last 4 years. Families are really going to make the difference with those new cadets. One question you might have is, where do I send those letters? You can see that information. To reach it from Eisenhower Hall, where we are now, simply exit the building, walk up to the intersection of Washington Road and turn left. Battle Monument will be on your left, approximately 200 yards down the road. At Battle Monument, the new cadets will be formed up as you see on the diagram. Here are the viewing areas from which you may be able to see new cadets. Your newly trained sons and daughters will conduct the oath ceremony, followed by retreat. And at the oath ceremony, they will take an oath to swear allegiance to the United States and to defend the Constitution. The retreat ceremony is the lowering of the flag at the end of the day. The retreat ceremony, while the flag is being lowered, it is also appropriate to face the flag and remain still. Gentlemen should remove their headgear.
So we keep them pretty busy, but you'll find out that after a while, they'll continue to pile things on their plate as well. The ones they just got issued today, and they'll be asking you for the ones from home. They'll get a chance to get those later on. Key dates for the remainder of the calendar year, some were mentioned already. The March back on Monday, August 13th, is really not a day for visitation. If you're in the local area and you want to watch that, you're more than welcome to do that. But your ultimate goal, why they came here, and what for them is a very long way away, 47 months from now. But I promise you, as a parent and ultimately as a graduate of this institution, those months go by really in the blink of an eye. Again, it's all about producing leaders of character, and we will do that every single day. That's what we absolutely promise you, and we will do our utmost for that. Now, some people I know are leaving already to get places around Trophy Point. I promise you there are going to be plenty of places there. It's an hour and 50 minutes away. Right here, question up?